Hey YouTube, how's it going? It's Natastic or James, whatever you want to call me. Today I'm bringing up a certain topic that I feel pretty passionate about right now, since this game has been all over the place. It's been blowing up, and everyone's been talking about it. And it comes out in like 2 to 3 weeks by the time I post this video. I'm talking about Rematch. You know, it's a great soccer game, great 5v5, 4v4, 3v3 game modes that just came out recently in the beta. And the beta just ended, so I feel like it's a great time to talk about it and see what hopes we have and what do I think Rematch or Slow Clap can do in the future to prevent them from being overthrown by EA, or even just prevent them from being diluted by all the other games that are coming out. So, question of the day, can Rematch overthrow EA? I think, yeah, 100%. I feel like Rematch is a game that we need right now as people who love sports games, people who love soccer, especially me. I love soccer, I love playing soccer, I love playing FIFA. But, you know, everyone knows that ever since, I would say, in my opinion, FIFA 18, ever since then, it's just started going downhill. EA just started throwing the same shit at us every year, and we just been accepting it as a community because we all do love FIFA, and we do all love playing as the same players that we see in real life. You know, everyone loves doing that. But I like to consider the factors of for at least Rematch wise, it's just fresh. It's something fresh that we all needed. You know, everyone's comparing it to Rocket League, but you know, Rocket League is just with the cars and not actual you being a character in the game. So I feel like Slow Clap has produced that for us. That's something that we needed. So we're gonna be talking about a few topics. Gameplay, how's the gameplay, how the graphics look, you know, how we feel of it as in general. The community, depending on how the community is gonna make or break a game all the time. We all know that. Who the developers are, what the reputation is. Slow Clap, right now I wouldn't consider them not being known, but they did make Shifu and everyone, and that game was just, I would consider it one in a million, or just something unique, a unique game. You know, that was like the first of its kind. I never seen a game like Shifu before. And then how the servers were during the beta. I'm not really gonna focus on that topic too much because we all know how the betas are. Servers are all over the place. They're still testing the server load, how many players are in it, if they need to buy more servers. That's just going to be like a little throw in there. And if the game has longevity, depending on how they take it, this game can be here for a while, or they can develop other games using the same factors that they use for Rematch, other sports games most likely, you know, who knows. But I feel like this is a great standpoint. I feel like it's a great time to talk about this before the game comes out. Yeah, so we're gonna start the video. Oh shit, bro, there goes good.
Square it.
Bro, spark going. I was gonna say, like, I'm setting you up right now. So that was just a small example of the many goals you can create in Rematch. So when you were looking at this clip, what is the first thing you see? You're like, okay, third person perspective. There's walls. Most likely, probably the walls is probably gonna hit people the most. It's like, oh, the walls. This is Rocket League. We can use the walls. We can hit it off the walls. Exactly. I think that's the element that pretty much derived this game from any normal soccer game to what it has become. Because when you think about it, who's gonna want to play with fouls all the fucking time? Who's gonna want to play with the ball getting out every time, with people taking ridiculous shots and just it not going in? It's gonna slow the pace down. And this game isn't about slow pace. It's about how fast can you score a goal? What can you create off the top of your head? The whole point of the game is to be creative. They give you options to be creative, and this is just one example of that creativity.
Some shit like that.
Now you're thinking to yourself, hey, James, why didn't you just pass it to your team right there? There's two teammates right there. Why didn't you pass it? Well, that's an example of kind of like how the game makes you feel. You know, you feel like you can just do it all on your own. You feel like you're just that guy. You're in that moment. And look, obviously I scored, right? But in any other scenario, maybe I would have missed. Maybe my team would have been mad. But in all honesty, you get back right up and just play the game again. That's how the game is. You take those fucking chances. You take chances like that all the time. And that kind of has to revolve around the community. You know what I mean? The community plays just like that. It's one of those scenarios where, like, we all think, you know, we're Asagi. We're out there, you know? Because everyone is that. I'll be honest, everyone who plays this game, they all pretty much watch Blue Lock. That's all you see on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram Reels. It's just a bunch of, you know, Blue Lock edits, and I'm all here for it. I love it. I love the Blue Lock edits. I love like the anime nerd. I love the nerd shit. I love how we can take a sport and just bring that anime aspect. That's why I love Blue Lock, because it takes my favorite sport and just adds that anime aspect to it. You know, that protagonist aspect, that egoist, like all that. All the nature of it makes the game, just makes the game even more exciting. You know, the community makes the game even more exciting. So I'm here for it, but at the same time, you know, the downside is people are gonna play like that. People are gonna play it to the point where they're like 1v5 and they just feel like they could take on the team every time, even though there's someone wide open right next to them, or just the extra pass can actually make you a good play. So if I were you guys, I'd say, hey, if you really want to win games like in ranked or anything, play with some friends. I promise you it's going to be a lot easier. It's going to be a lot more fun if you play with your friends. At least you guys can communicate. There is the open mic, but you know, who knows who's going to listen to you while you play. There is the chat, the feature in the game where you can call for the ball, but who knows if people are going to listen. At the end of the day, if you're really trying to win, play with your friends. But the community wise, I feel like it has a really good community, really great community behind it. I feel like it has great potential, and the people who are playing this game want to see more, want more from Slow Clap, and Slow Clap will be there for that. Speaking about the devs, Slow Clap. I personally have not played Shifu. I have not played Absolver, like two of their big games that they're known for. I've never touched them. I would like to play Shifu at one point. Maybe I play for a walkthrough, maybe like a let's play. Maybe if you guys want something like that, comment down below, see what we got. If anything, I'd be so down. I'd be down to play a game like that and stream it, or make a YouTube video about it. You know, a challenge maybe. I'd be so down. But let's get back to the point. The developers. I'm liking what they're doing. Slow Clap is listening to people. They're making the game more interesting. You know, they're adding this certain aspect to it. I'm all here for it. I feel like they're a small company, but I feel like they're taking the right route. They're making the game their own, and I like it. They're getting some big names: Rolandinho, Ter Stegen, and Manu. You know, those are three big names in soccer. Ter Stegen and Rolandinho more than Manu, obviously, but you know, Manu still, he plays for Man United. You know, like why wouldn't we want him in our game? That's the kind of thing I'm going for here. Like if they keep going like that, adding more players, more people like branching out, you know, more voices coming out, more sponsorships, I think they could be big. I think this game can be really big, and if the developers do it right, I feel like Slow Clap will do it right, because they came out of nowhere with this and people are loving it, you know. So I feel like if we keep going, they keep going in the right direction, this could be a great game. This could be a great game, and they can get big. They can get really big off of this. They can. This could be their biggest game. They get, like, Shifu was big, but this can be bigger because it has a broader audience for sure. They get the people from all over the world love soccer. This is their audience. The world is their audience, and they're gonna target it. Like I said earlier, I'm not gonna hit too much on servers. It's just like a little glimpse I want to add in there. Servers weren't too bad. For me personally, I had at least like 3 bars if I'm lucky. But like I said, the servers were probably overloaded at the time, just an influx of players trying to play the game. But I was like around like 50 ping. It didn't feel too bad, but there were moments where there's like a little glitch in there where like the ball would just be flying around, even though like the player barely touched it, or they kicked it into the goal and no one realized that someone even kicked it. But that's just something to deal with the beta. That just happens. I feel like there's gonna be some bugs, obviously, when the game first comes out. But that's just how it is when any new game, with the servers and the influx of players, depending on how many people they determine will be in the game when it first comes out. I'd say if you really don't want to deal with any lagging or any like issues, give it a week, maybe a week or two. Let them put out a update. You know, make sure the game stabilizes. Just servers weren't that bad. I'd give it like a 6 out of 10. It wasn't really that bad. I didn't have a problem with it, but I know other people did. The final topic of the day: longevity. Will this game prosper for years to come? Let's take Rocket League, because obviously everyone's comparing this to Rocket League. Rocket League and FIFA. Let's do that. Rocket League and FIFA, because you know, elements of both games. Rocket League. Rocket League's been around for many years, and people say Rocket League's success comes from it being free. First came out free on the PlayStation, PS Plus came out free on there, and then I guess the Rocket League devs said, Epic was like, fuck it, we're just gonna make it free for everybody, and it worked. Everyone played it. People obviously bought skins and stuff. they used monetary, they used those kind of things where it's like loot packs and shit like that, you know, things that people usually fall for when it comes to buying stuff in a free game. Like, oh yeah, the game's free, but you could buy skins and stuff like that. So if Slow Clap wants success, I feel like possibly making it free. From what I've seen online, I heard that they might be free on the Game Pass. If you got the Game Pass, you might be able to play for free. But from the looks of it, I think they're gonna stick with that $40 sell point. $40, I feel like it's not a bad price, but for some people, you know, that's where they kind of like draw the line. It's like, why would I pay $40 for a game that I could play for free, like Rocket League? But some may argue it's not the same game. You're getting better quality, or you're getting a better experience, different experience. Game modes wise, I feel like they have a lot of options right now. You know, 3v3, 4v4, 4v5, 5v5 is like the normal thing. I don't think they'd go anything bigger than 5v5, because it kind of ruins the aspect of the game of being fast-paced. Because once you start adding more players, you know, field gets bigger, passes get longer, or passes become more like you need to pass more, because you're not going to be able to run with the speed boost. You know, you can only run for like 4 to 3 seconds without, you know, running out of stamina. So there's a lot more passing, a lot more tactics coming into it. So the game definitely slows down more. Maybe people will like that, but I feel like that's not the point of the game. You're not playing to play with tactics. You're not playing to play with 11 people. You're doing a 5v5, scoring bangers, fast-paced goals. You just like that adrenaline rush, you know? But in all honesty, I feel like if they become creative with the game modes, maybe like Rocket League 2, you know, when he gets power-ups and shit, super goals, who knows, golden goal. There's a lot of things they can do. Off the top of my head, I haven't. Maybe I'd like to see something like maybe more like I don't know about penalty shootouts. I don't know what this game could go for. I don't know what other game was like come out in the future that may be successful, but I would love to see more collabs with players. I feel like collabs with players would be great for the longevity, because people, I mean, a lot of people love soccer. Why wouldn't I want to play as my favorite soccer player in this game, you know? Or maybe and this is like a stretch, Blue Lock. Maybe Blue Lock can come in here and get a sponsorship. Maybe they could do a collab with Blue Lock. That would be the best thing ever. I would love to play as Asagi. I'm not gonna lie to you. Favorite character in the goddamn show. I mean, I read the manga too. I've read the manga since day one, and when I found out that they're making a fucking anime out of it, I was so hyped. But let me get back on topic. But yeah, the longevity part, I feel like it's gonna be good. I feel like they're gonna do a good job on it. I feel like this game's gonna last for a while. But you know, recently people with their TikTok brain, or like the way that the internet is and gaming, a lot of games get dropped fast by people. It's like, what's the new fad? That's what people are looking for. So if they can stay on top of the new fad, I think they'll be here for a long time. And I think that's where I'm gonna end the video. I love talking about this. I love soccer, so Rematch was the perfect game to talk about. And I want FIFA to have a contender. I thought UFL was gonna be that contender. PES was going to be a contender, but we all know it's not as successful as FIFA. So maybe Rematch would be that contender to make EA step up their fucking game, because that's what we need. We need contenders. We need people to make people start actually caring about their games. And Slow Clap cares about their game. They care about Rematch. They care about producing product. They care about the people. So hopefully they make EA realize that, hey, we need to care about our people too, because we've been fucking crying over here, dude. We have been fucking crying. I'm gonna let you know that. But thank you guys for watching the video. Thank you for staying this long. Thank you for listening to me rant. It's a new type of video I've been trying. I'm gonna try and do like a little ranting on games. See if you guys like it. If you guys want to stick to more gameplay wise, you know, just trying different things. Comment down below, please. I'd love feedback. I love criticism. Just let me know what you think I can do better to keep you entertained. That's all I care about. Please leave a like, subscribe, comment, follow me on Twitch if you guys want to see me live. I'm still trying to figure out a good schedule for this, but once I figure it down, I'll put it down in all my bios. I'll let you guys know. I'm here for you guys. Peace. Have a good day.